Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 63 of the Playoff Push podcast. I'm your host, Jack Dobbins, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Jackson Volz from JD Sports Zone. We're going to talk about some MLB free agency today, but first off, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing, Jack. I love all the work you do on the Playoff Push podcast. I've seen all the work you do there, so I'm super excited to be on. Never have done this before. Personally, I'm always the guy interviewing people, but I'm glad to hop on somebody else's podcast and talk some MLB. I truly love it.
Absolutely. We got a ton of stuff to talk about. Let's lead off with the biggest topic of today. This is December 10th, so anything that happens after the night of December 10th will not be covered. This is dropping on the 12th, though, so that really only covers Thursday. But Pete Alonso signed with the Baltimore Orioles a few hours ago. 5 years, $155 million. The Mets losing their two biggest free agents in the span of 24 hours. How are we feeling about that Alonso deal?
Personally, when it comes to Pete Alonso, I think this was a truly a turnaround year for him. I mean, he was both consistency from the power position, but also had a really high batting average compared to his previous seasons with the New York Mets. I mean, he's the home run leader for the New York Mets, and I have a lot of friends who are Mets fans who are super upset about this. But honestly, I love it for Baltimore. They needed a big cleanup bat, especially with the regression of Ryan Mountcastle. I mean, he's out there for a free agent. Personally, I'm a Cardinals fan. I mean, we need a first base position. Ryan Mountcastle, if you want to come to St. Louis, I would love it. But honestly, I love the deal for Alonso. I mean, I believe he's only like 33 years old. He's in his early 30s. And I think he can contribute to this Baltimore Orioles team, which was kind of lackluster from the power side. So good move for the Orioles.
I think he's 31. I think he's younger than you're giving him credit for, as far as
31
I'm
years old.
aware.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
31
he's
years old.
he's still relatively young. But I did really like the way he changed from, fully homer, homer, homer. I like how he went gap to gap more so this year. The batting average, of course, the highest mark of his career, 1 point ahead of his 2022 season. But I think it's a good deal. I mean, 31 AAV is kind of a bit up there. But when you have a
Mhm.
guy who's a consistent, at least 30 homers, at least 100 RBI, will hopefully sit around the 270 mark after this past season. I don't see why not. I mean, Alonso's a great ball player, the cornerstone of the Mets for a long time. But with Alonso leaving, I think it opens up the door for Mets to go for Bellinger.
I mean, I would love to see that. Honestly, Bellinger has been versatile from both outfield and first base position. I'm also looking at other guys who had like stellar years. I mean, you have Ryan O'Hearn as well, who's in the
Oh,
same age range
absolutely.
as Alonso. He balled out in San Diego in the later half and Baltimore in the first half. I mean, first time All Star over there. Justin Ayers, personally, I'm a friend of his, and he has had Ryan O'Hearn, and he said Ryan O'Hearn is looking forward to 2026. He thinks it's going to be his best season yet. I think this is the highest market for Ryan O'Hearn so far. I mean, other guys that could potentially be there. I mean, like Reese Hoskins, but I feel like outside of Bellinger, I mean, O'Hearn would be a good solution.
Yeah, he really had a breakout year. The Royals kind of gave up on him after a while. Went to
Hmm.
Baltimore, revitalized his career, had a pretty solid year. He's obviously losing Alonso and then losing Edwin Diaz, 3 year, 69 million, $23 million a year for a closer. That's kind of wild to me.
It's absolutely wild, and I mean Edwin Diaz, especially going to the Dodgers. I want to ask you, Jack, a rebuttal question to you. I mean, everybody complains about the cap size and the cap space in the MLB. Dodgers have one of the highest payrolls. And I mean, between two players, Otani and Yamamoto, over $1 billion. What are your personal thoughts on the cap space thing in MLB?
Okay, I'm a Yankee fan, so it's very hard for me to say this compared to a smaller market team like a lot of my friends. However, I will say I am much more in support of a salary floor than a salary cap. That way, you force teams like Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Tampa, all those guys who like to keep it low to go up to adapt to the market. Obviously, the Dodgers, they want to win. That's what they're trying to do here, and they're putting the money in for it. The other teams are not. I think the salary floor would be so much more beneficial than the cap, but I don't think you can have one without the other. So I say you try to clamp it so it's like a little middle area there. I say team payroll. Where are we thinking? 200 to 400?
I mean, I would love to see it, but personally, for like the move for the Dodgers, I mean, I love this move. They struggled in the later half of their bullpen heading into the later half of the season. And Edwin Diaz, what a bounce back year for him, man.
Oh, he
Six
played incredible.
a 163 ERA. You still have, Tanner Scott is going to return. Alex Veja, Edwin Diaz. I mean, great move for the Dodgers. I hate to see it as a NL fan with the Cardinals, but I mean, great move for LA, I guess.
The Dodgers have just been piled with injuries in that 2025 season, and that's what led to the bullpen and the starting rotation really getting pummeled. I mean, obviously, buffing it up is great and all, but it can only do so much if they keep getting hurt. They need to really prevent that injury bug because that's what pushed them a little bit weird. They won the World Series, who cares? But, like, they still had a really rough go in the regular season with injuries.
I mean, yeah, they had a consistent 1 through 9 batting lineup. I mean, star-studded from Will Smith, Mookie Betts down to Miguel Rojas, who I believe just re-signed with the Dodgers, if I'm
His
not correct.
final season will
His
be
final
with the
season.
Dodgers.
Yeah. And I mean, what unsung hero for the Dodgers. But I mean, the lowest point was that bullpen, and I think Edwin Diaz, contributes to
Oh,
helping things.
wow. We have breaking news mid-show.
Hmm.
Outfielder Mike Yastrzemski has signed with the Atlanta Braves on a 2-year, $23 million deal. I can say, that's the first time we've gotten news like that on the show. Obviously,
Hmm.
Yaz been out the news for a little bit. Do you think any potential to return with that Atlanta team?
I mean, I can see it. I mean, he was a baller out in San Francisco, and then he went to the Royals. Wasn't as well contributed as he was in San Francisco, but I mean, Atlanta needs that help in that outfield. I mean, they signed Jurickson Profar to an $82 million deal. Didn't really live up to that. Also with the PED suspension there, and I mean, you still have Ronald Acuna Jr., who is a little wishy-washy when it comes to injuries. But Yastrzemski, I mean, he contributes a solid bat to that Braves lineup, especially in dire need when it comes to injuries.
He hasn't been an all-star throughout his career, but he's a consistent, 2 to 3 wins above replacement player. He's a guy you
Hmm.
can plug into the outfield, and he'll be solid enough. He'll get you that little push. I like it. I mean, Atlanta's a team that's trying to rebound from a little bit of a disappointing year. I think a team-friendly contract like that, only 11.5 per year for a guy that will give you that consistent bat, consistent glove. Nothing too special, but he'll get the job done. I like it.
I mean, yeah, I like it as a cleanup guy for sure. And I live in the Atlanta area, and Braves fans complain saying, "Oh, we would have made the playoffs if we had a fully healthy roster." You were on the downward spiral. I mean, I'm excited to see what Walt Weiss does in Atlanta, with Snitker gone. But yeah, I just hear a lot of complaining, and Braves fans should be excited about this.
Yeah, very interesting move. I can say though, first time I'm talking, MLB with a signing in the middle of
Mhm.
the show, so that's pretty cool. Uh,
That is good.
let's move over to another NL East team. Kyle Schwarber re-signing with the Philadelphia Phillies, 5 years, 150 million, 30 million per year. How are we feeling about the DH returning to Citizens Bank Park?
Honestly, I love it for the Phillies. I mean, I understand your position on it with, I mean, he's getting a little bit older. I mean, he doesn't have really a high average, but he's a guy, you were talking about Pete Alonso averages 30 homers a season. Schwarber's a guy who averages 40. I mean, he's a big power bat for this Philadelphia Phillies. I think if he had a higher average, he probably would have beaten out Shohei Ohtani this year. But I mean, it's kind of hard to beat out a guy who pitches really solid on the mound, but also is a guy who consistently bats 300, 40 homers, 100 uh, plus RBIs a season. But honestly, he's 33 years old. I mean, he's been consistent since joining Philly in 2022. I mean, great return for the Phillies. I saw that he might have been going to like the Reds or something, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. But great return for the Phillies.
He's a Cincinnati kid, so that was always going to be a pushing factor for the Reds. Unfortunately, the offer didn't stack up. Pittsburgh also tried, but when Pittsburgh tries, we all know that they don't really actually care. But he was getting big contracts from all over the place, but he had one stellar year, a 928 OPS, good for the highest mark of his career, actually tied with his 2021 season, which is one that I tend to try to forget. But I mean, 33 years old, you're paying him this much money to DH. I still think there's a lot of potential for it to go wrong, but there's also a lot of
Mhm.
potential for it to go right. Anchoring down that lineup, pushing it, maybe taking a bit of pressure off Harper again, which I think is a big thing. I like it overall. Obviously, fan favorite. What more do you want?
I mean, I say I would be a little bit more worried about the contract if he was a guy who was injury ridden, but he hasn't been injury ridden since
Not at all.
COVID, since
Yeah,
pre-COVID, maybe
probably
like
ish.
2018 season, and that's been forever ago. So honestly, I understand the contract there. But yeah, at the DH position, a lot of people have mixed reactions about that. So I understand your stance on that, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a power-driven free agency class. You got Alonso, you got Schwarber, you got all these crazy guys with pop that I think inevitably, if the contract fell through, they would have so many other options to go with. Obviously, Tucker and Bellinger and Bregman and so many other guys that Philly could have gone through for a power hitter. But obviously, Schwarber, fan favorite, you had him. Why not get him back? Who do you want to target next?
Have you spoken upon the Devin Williams situation yet?
I have not. I have not actually.
The guy who got rid of the beard rule in New York, the Yankees, the Bronx Bombers, ships over to Queens in with the New York Mets. I mean, Devin Williams really has not been consistent since his Brewer days. Honestly, I think he can turn it around with the Mets, but they need to do some more moves to that pitching to succeed.
Very mixed reactions on this move when it first happened for me. Obviously, a disappointing year for a guy who we thought was going to shut down our bullpen and really get us back to the World Series. Did not happen. And he really blew those high leverage situations in the ninth inning. However, when we moved into like the seventh inning, he actually pitched pretty well for a good period of time. I definitely think the potential is there for him to rebound. He is disgusting. I don't know what happened to make him, fall off this hard in New York. Some guys just can't perform in New York. We've seen it before. We've seen it with Gallo. We've seen it with Sonny Gray. We've seen it with J.A. Happ and all these other guys. I'm really happy that Devin's going to be able to go to the little brother team, hopefully have some pressure taken off of his shoulders because he's such a talented pitcher. That airbender pitch, I think there's some kind of substance on that baseball to make it do that.
He has an insane repertoire. He has an insane arsenal. I mean, you talked about the airbender pitch. I saw it so many times when he was in Milwaukee versus St. Louis. I mean, I hated facing him. He was absolutely awful. But honestly, change of scenery. I like having the narrative of it can either be good or bad for you. I know a lot of people say change of scenery is always going to be a benefit to players. I like him. I like him. I really got no hate towards him outside the former Brewer aspect, but wish the best of luck for Devin.
Exactly. I want nothing but the best for him in Queens. Juan Soto's another story. I don't know about him. However, Devin's a guy where you can go from the Yankees to the Mets, and I'll be like, yeah, bro, I want you to do great things. I want you to go back to your former self because that's the player you should be. I'm happy for him. I think it's a great move for him. Hopefully, he got his bread. Hopefully, he goes back to, the Devin Williams we all know and love.
I want to ask you about the. Have you spoken about Dylan Cease yet?
I have not. That was right where I was going to go. So let's go right to it then.
Yeah, Dylan Cease, 30 years old, signed a 7-year deal with the Toronto Blue Jays. I know you have mixed reactions because you know you're in that AL East rivalry with the Toronto Blue Jays. Dylan Cease has always been a high strikeout guy. Big fan of Dylan Cease. I like to say he's a better version of Sonny Gray just because he's a high strikeout guy, but is very wishy-washy when it comes to the earned run average and, having hits against him. But honestly, he's in a better situation. I would say he's in a better situation batting wise, to support run support for him in Toronto with guys like Vlad Jr. Assuming they keep Bo Bichette, Ernie Clement, Addison Barger. So honestly, I like the move for Dylan Cease to Toronto, and it adds to Savage, Gosman, and guys out there. So honestly, I like it.
I'm very happy you brought up the ERA point because this is something that I love talking about with Dylan Cease. I've seen so much slander on his name with this contract. Oh, he doesn't deserve it. Oh, he had a 4.55 ERA last year. Maybe look at the numbers, guys. He had a 3.46 expected ERA. This dude's expected ERA was a full point below his actual ERA. His FIP's in the same boat, 3.56, 0.99 lower than his actual ERA. This dude was getting killed in the field. So many things that, other pitchers would not have had to face, he did. Those hits, they were dropping in Petco, where they wouldn't have been dropping in, I don't even know where, Wrigley or Citi Field or any other place. You don't see this often, where the expected ERA and the actual ERA are this far apart. He was getting crushed in places where other pitchers would get a fly out, would get a ground out, stuff like that. He had to face it. And I feel so bad for him that he's getting the slander on his name. He's an incredible pitcher. And Toronto really got a great guy to add to their rotation. I think he's there too. I think he's better than Gosman. And I will say it. I think Savage is their one, and I think Cease is there too.
I mean, a lot of people say that Savage might regress in 2026. I want to ask you your opinion on that because I mean, he had a lot of highlights in the big case showing in the playoffs. The playoffs is one of the hardest things to play in all of sports. Personally, especially in MLB, and you had the Toronto Blue Jays playing the New York Yankees. I mean, the Yankees are, I mean, no offense, but they always choke
Oh,
in
we
the
do.
play
No, no, you could say it. We definitely do.
in the playoffs. I mean, Cardinals have as of that. Well, they haven't been in the playoffs as of lately, but when they did, yes. But honestly, I would love to see you Savage. I mean, he's still eligible for Rookie of the Year in 2026, and honestly, that's my way too early pick for American League Rookie of the Year. I mean, I see an All Star out of him.
Yeah,
Sure.
Savage is unfair, man. I gotta say, his release point is the highest in Major League Baseball history as far as tracking is concerned. We're seeing something we've never seen before. This kid goes directly over the top and just launches it. His stuff's nasty. He's an incredible pitcher. In Toronto, I'm happy they didn't trade him. Like, there were a lot of rumors he was going to get traded last year, early on in the year before the deadline. I'm happy they didn't. He's such a great talent. And even though we have to face him in the American League East, and it sucks watching him strike out 12 Yankees in 4 innings or whatever on earth he did, but he's such a great talent. I'm so happy to, call him a rival because he's a guy who I would want to go to a game to watch, see if we can crack the code.
I mean, especially when you have Garrett Cole returning for the Yankees in 2025. I
Yes!
I want to see a Garrett Cole or a Max Fried versus Trey Savage in a
I would
regular season.
love it. I would love
Pers-
it.
Personally, I've never been to Yankee Stadium. I've only been to Fenway, Busch, Great American Ballpark, the White Sox one, and Truist Park. Those are the only ones I need to make a game up to a Yankee Stadium, and
With
that's
with
something I need.
with all due respect to my team's ballpark, you're not missing out on much.
I mean, there's New York has good food, right? I mean, I've been
I
there
mean,
once.
there's history there. You got the chicken buckets, but like as a stadium, it's all right.
It's not
It's
great.
it's not Fenway, it's not Oracle, it's not PNC. It's a solid stadium. You can go, you can, soak it in. Wow, I'm in Yankee Stadium. This is cool while eating your $30 chicken bucket and life's good. But it's not a stadium where I'd say you like need to go like do everything just to get there. You want to talk about some of the trades, or we got stick free agency? We got the Sonny Gray trade. We got Simeon and Nimmo's swap. We got so much stuff.
I do want to speak about the Sonny Gray trade. Yes, I'm a Cardinals fan. I think we're in a transitional period, especially with Shane Bloom in his first season as general manager, with John Mozeliak stepping down after 17 years being part of the organization. Honestly, we always had the narrative that veteran guys at the trade deadline or in the offseason will lead us to a playoff push. Sonny Gray, he's like 37 years old. He's getting up there in age. I mean, we didn't really want to pay his last year of the contract. We got Richard Fitz, who had really bright highlights for the Red Sox in their bullpen and a couple starts in Boston. And then we got Brandon Clark. Brandon Clark, I'm actually a big fan of because he's the number five guy. He was the number five guy in their organization. He's a guy who throws over 100 miles per hour consistently. I think he's a better version of what we had when we had Jordan Hicks in St. Louis a few years ago.
Oh
Uh,
man, what
yeah,
once was.
yeah, what once was. Honestly, some moves the Cardinals need to make. I mean, we're not a team that goes out and gets guys like Alex Bregman. We're probably going to move on from Arenado, but we need to bring JJ Weatherholt up. I want a guy like Tyler Mahle. I mean,
Ooh,
Tyler Mahle
stealing
is
him
a
from Cincinnati.
yeah. He's a low budget guy who obviously the injury is gonna like lower his market a little bit. I mean, he had great highlights in Texas last year. Honestly, I think he would have been on track for maybe an AL Cy Young finalist spot in last year. I mean, he was on that track for Texas last year before his injury. Him or a guy like Chris Bassett. Chris Bassett is another guy who's up there in age, low budget guy. Um, if we trade Arenado, it is what it is. I'm basically on that mindset right now. But we need to bring up our younger guys. We have a top five farm system, and under Mozeliak, they didn't want to do that. Under Chain Bloom, he wants to do that. So I'm excited to see the shift over there. But best of luck for Sonny Gray in Boston.
Yeah, it's always fun looking in the bargain bin for those little like older players that you
Mm.
can really try to turn around for one final banger of a year before they, start to tail out. I think Sonny Gray has potential for that. He was pretty good last year. I mean, what was he? Probably around 4 ERA, I'd guess.
Yeah, he had like a low
Or
fours
2,
ERA.
something like
But
that, I'd
I
guess.
mean, he had 200 plus strikeouts. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
no, he was a guy who I'd be confident throwing out there.
mm.
But I mean, Boston's just hoping that he has, one more great year left in him. I think Boston's really putting their chips in for this year. I don't know how I feel about it, but it sure seems like they're doing a lot for the win now.
Hmm. I mean, I think they move on from Bregman. Obviously, I don't think he resigns there. I can see him. This is really tough because I mean, I want to ask you about like free agent predictions.
So the guys who haven't signed yet, where do I think they'll go?
Yeah.
Okay. Kyle Tucker. My original answer is not my current answer. I originally had him going to the Dodgers. But
Mm.
just because of the Edwin Diaz thing, I do not know how much more they want to spend, in all honesty with you. Obviously, could they do it? Absolutely, they could do it. But I think there's going to be a little bit of a pivot here. And I think Tucker will actually go cross division to San Diego.
I was about to say the same thing. Honestly, I thought you were going to go Dodgers, but San Diego, I mean, you have guys like Tatis, who's a flip there with between shortstop and outfield, and Kyle Tucker. I mean, he knows what it's like to play out west. And I mean, he played there in college, uh, out there. But honestly, I would love to see a big baller guy like Kyle Tucker play in San Diego. I don't think he re-signs with the Cubs. As long as he stays healthy, he is a top five NL MVP candidate. He's
Yeah,
a,
absolutely.
maybe top three, maybe top three.
100%. Cody, I think, is a coin flip between the New York teams, either the Yankees re-signing or the Mets with the loss of Alonso. I really think there's no way to tell. I think it's a 50-50. It'll go one way or the other. I can't see him going anywhere else.
Cody Bellinger, yes. I mean, I can understand that. Honestly, I saw a lot of things with Paul Goldschmidt maybe going to the Mets for like a 1 year deal, but I mean, why sign a 1 year deal when you want to focus on the future? Paul Goldschmidt's 38 years old. Cody Bellinger is 30, 31. I mean, he just
Yeah,
turned 30.
probably ish.
Yeah, he like just turned 30. Um, Honestly, I can see it with the Mets. I mean, they have the loss of Nimmo as well. And Semion's not very well known for playing the outfield. So honestly, if you flip a guy like Cody Bellinger for a first base outfield spot, I can 100% see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a player who thrives in the high pressure environments. He played in LA, he played in Chicago, he played in New York, and he played incredibly at all three. He thrives in those cities where you will get eggs thrown at your car if you do not play well. And he's been
Hmm.
doing that. I think if he's six in Queens, six in the Bronx, I really don't care. Obviously, I want him in the Yankees clubhouse. But if he goes to the Mets, I still think he'll play just as well.
I mean, I'm looking at this. The next best guy is Harrison Bader. I mean,
Yeah,
nobody
like
wants to
like
sign
what are we
Harrison
doing
Bader.
there?
But and then yeah, Yaz is off the board. Kepler wouldn't be a bad move. With the guy over there. I mean, if you want to move Ozuna back to the outfield position,
No,
which
absolutely
don't do
not.
that. Don't do that.
Absolutely not. We saw what
Uh,
happened in left field.
we saw what happened in St. Louis.
That's
We
what I'm
saw.
talking about. Yeah, when he fell off the fence.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I enjoyed him at the power position. I don't think he should go back to outfield. I mean, you're slim pickings here, unless you move a guy who's versatile. I don't know. Maybe like a Ha-Sung Kim to center field. I mean, no.
Final player that I want to give a prediction on. And that player is Munetaka Murakami, the biggest player heading to the USA from Japan this year. Now, just quickly tell me, where do you have him going?
Honestly, I love Munetaka Murakami. I mean, he's getting a lot of comparisons to when Shogo Akiyama. I mean, he played for the Reds for a little bit.
He
Uh,
could have been so good, man.
he really could have been so good heading out of the NPB. But honestly, Munetaka Morikami, I like to say the Dodgers, but I don't think that's the case. If the Padres don't go for Kyle Tucker
Okay.
and there's an open position there, I would love to see Munetaka Morikami. I mean, there's a lot of out west teams that go for NPB and international players, and I feel like Morikami would fit perfectly in that Padres organization. I mean, Craig Stammen brought a lot of international guys in when he was a senior advisor for the Nationals, and that worked well in their young system. I mean, I think he's a great, personable coach, and yeah, Murakami to Padres. I'm locking it in.
Obviously, the Dodgers signing Edwin Diaz. I don't think the Dodgers are spending much more money. I think they're out. Now, my idea is where do the Japanese players go when the Dodgers are out of the question? You have to look back. You have to go to Kazuhiro Sasaki. You have to go to Yusei Kikuchi. You have to go to Ichiro Suzuki.
Hmm.
Munetaka Murakami will sign with the Seattle Mariners, and he will be one of their corner infielders for years to come. And I've been locked in on this for a minute. He is heading to Seattle, folks.
I mean, I personally would love to see that. I mean, isn't Eugenio Suarez in a free agent right now?
I think so, as
So, I
far as I'm
mean,
aware.
if you want to get a guy who's better at the fielding position and maybe just as good at a power position, Munetaka Morikami would be a perfect position for Seattle, especially at the corner infield spots. I mean, I'm looking, yeah, Eugenio
I think
Suarez.
he is a free agent.
Yes, yeah, he's a free agent. Yeah, he's a free agent. He's 34 years old. He's not good at the fielding position. I mean, sign Murakami. I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's going to do it here, episode number 63 of the Playoff Push podcast. Any final words?
No, I mean, go follow Playoff Push Podcast. Jack, you do amazing work over there. Hopefully, y'all go follow JD Sports Zone. I've been looking to build that up. Dinger Dudes as well. I run that. But Jack, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do this and having me on. I mean, this is the first time I'm on something like this, and would love to do it in the future for sure.
Absolutely, brother. Great talking ball with you. That's going to do it here, episode number 63. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm your host, Jack Dobbins, and have a great rest of your day.